want to talk about Ragost, Deft, Gastro. This is a 2-mana 2/2 Lobster citizen that says artifacts you control are food in addition to their other types and have the food text of 2 tap, sack this artifact, gain 3 life. And it also has you can pay 1 tap, sack a food, it deals 3 damage to each opponent, and has at the beginning of each end step, if you've gained life this turn, untap Ragost. I think this will be a pretty sweet commander since dealing 3 damage on every single turn cycle will definitely speed up games, but it's not enough to warrant knocking you out of the game immediately, unlike Baba, which also draws you cards. If you're looking to build this commander, there's some key cards I want to discuss real quick. First up are going to be some sacrifice targets. So Gleaming Barrier, Piggy Bank, and Mearsire are all 2-mana artifact creatures that when they are sacrificed or put into the graveyard, you then make a treasure token or like a 1/1 colorless mirror token. This is great because it leaves behind another body for your commander to then sacrifice. Another card that I think will be really good in the deck is Hangerback Walker. Boros artifacts shouldn't have any issues ramping a whole bunch of mana by either treasures or mana rock, and getting a massive Hangerback Walker to sacrifice later on to then give you a bunch of Thopters just seems really good. You're also going to want ways to make more artifact tokens. Academy Manufactor obviously is going to be a powerhouse in this deck, but we're going to want repeatable ways to make artifacts, so Illustrious Wonderglyph, Genesis Chamber, and Loyal Apprentice will all make artifacts pretty much every single turn. Togo Goblin Weaponsmith will make a rock token whenever we have a land enter. Golem Foundry is if we cast enough artifact spells, we can start pumping out 3/3 golems. Clowncar will also be great in the deck since you can dump a bunch of mana into it to make a bunch of 1/1 artifact tokens that you can then sacrifice. Now the Lobster itself doesn't actually gain us life, we need to sacrifice food to do that, or because it's dealing damage, we can give it lifelink. So there's an aura literally called lifelink. Sheltered by Ghosts and Basilisk Collar are going to be cheap budget ways to do this. Shadow Spear is great, but it is very expensive at this point. Some other artifacts you could check out would be Dancer's Chakrams and Dissection Tools. These have inexpensive equip costs, or you don't even need to equip them to get the benefit. And then finally, Leonin Elder is a 1-mana 1/1 that says whenever an artifact comes into play, you may gain 1 life. It's essentially a soul sister for artifacts that also triggers on your opponent's stuff. And the final card I really want to showcase here is Ratchet Field Medic. It's one of the Transformer cards. It's a 3-mana 2/4 that has lifelink, and whenever you gain life, you may convert Ratchet. When you do, return target artifact card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you've gained this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then on the backside, it has whenever 1 or more non-token artifacts you control are put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn, convert Ratchet. This ability only triggers once each turn. So what you want to do is start Ratchet on its backside, so then you sacrifice an artifact to flip this back over, and then you'll gain life from Ragost, assuming it has lifelink or you have some way of gaining life from artifacts. And because you're gaining 3 life, you can only return a 3-mana artifact, even though you're gaining 9 in total, it's 3 individual triggers. And then you can return a 3-mana artifact, 3-mana or less artifact, from your graveyard directly back into play. So we can sacrifice a Gleaming Barrier, which we talked about earlier, and then we can bring it back to the battlefield tapped, so then we have our treasure token from the barrier, and the barrier's back, and then we can sacrifice the barrier again. There's also a really fun interaction with artifact lands. Because Ragost and Ratchet don't specify non-land cards, you can sacrifice artifact lands, and you can keep triggering Togo Goblin Weaponsmith if you have him in play. So you could sacrifice an artifact land, return it with Ratchet, which triggers Togo. So that's also a really fun interaction in the deck. Let me know if you want more quick videos like this where I go over some key cards for new commanders that are spoiled, and don't worry, I'll be doing my usual fun ranking and deck text for commanders. Alrighty nerds, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.